Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. You know who it is, doing a really quickie, raw review of the new Dizzee Rascal album, Raskit. Dizzee Rascal, if you didn't know, you should know, is a really prominent grime artist over in the UK, one of the most significant artists in that genre in the United Kingdom. And, he's come out with a couple of great records under his belt a while ago, like last decade. In my opinion, he's yet to really come through with like as amazing an album as his debut. But he has this new record over here. I've been seeing it get a lot of positive reception, and grime has been seeing like a little bit of a resurgence recently. Like a lot of good grime records, or at least grime records that have received a pretty high profile over here in the US, have been getting released over the past couple of years, and it sort of gives me hope that Dizzee Rascal can finally just find the I guess the patience and the focus to deliver a very consistent and a true blue grime record that is really truly no nonsense. Finally, like he had in the past. Now that there's sort of this interest in grime once again, that there's kind of this revitalized demand and passion for the genre. And certainly that's how Raskit starts out. I mean, the first 8 tracks on this thing, there are a couple of concessions for more American audiences, like obviously notes in his flow or in the production that to me read as something that a more American audience would digest a bit easier. But still, like, grime fans, pure grime fans should really have no qualms with the first 8 tracks of this thing. It's a great run. It's a fantastic run. Awesome flows, descriptive lyrics that dive deeply into grime culture. Now that it's been around so long, there's so much for a guy like Dizzee Rascal to bring up and rap about. And of course, given his voice and given his style, his delivery, his performances are still so unique, are still so bold, still have a very unique character to them. But as soon as we hit sort of the midpoint of the record, we're hitting track 9, we're getting a bit of a flow change and a production change and a stylistic change. The first beat that hit me was like, man, this sounds like DJ Mustard would have produced it or something. Sounds like something out of the Bay Area or whatever. And then from there, we're getting all these pop rap songs, these love tracks that I don't really think like Dizzee does all that well or sort of pulls off all that well. The obnoxious Sick of This track, which is kind of a weird lyrical conceptual gimmick that gets annoying before the song is even finished. Like a really terrible pop rap ballad with a guest singer like on the second to last track. The second half of the album really truly does turn into a mess. And I'm just not really sure what to say about this album beyond that. It's really just kind of like a tale of 2 albums. Like you have your hard-nosed, hard-hitting, fantastic grime, amazing adrenaline-pumping cuts for the first portion of the record. And then when you reach that midpoint, it starts to wane a little bit. He starts to dabble in some instrumentals and stuff that I'm kind of questioning. I'm kind of like, oh, well, is this really the best direction to sort of take it in right now? Is he really playing to his strengths? Hopefully, he can go back to a sound like in the first portion of the record toward the end of the album and sort of stick the landing for the very finish of the record. But no, it actually just kind of gets worse and worse and worse and devolves further and further and further. And that's really all I have to say about it. If I had to put a score on it, because I know that people are going to chew my goddamn head off if I don't put some kind of stupid number on this thing down in the comments. If I had to put a score on it, I would say, it's a light 6 or something. Overall, it's decent when you sort of average out all of the tracks, because, there's more palatable material in the second half than there is absolutely terrible material in the second half, and the bulk of the first leg of the album is great. But overall as an experience, it's just kind of so-so, and I think I'm just gonna have to leave it at that. Dizzee Rascal, Raskit, forever.